Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hopefully today is the day that we get to fire this thing up. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. I wish I could say, hey, this has been a long time coming, but I've only been working on this thing for like a month and a half. So I'm excited every time, you know, a first start happens. But last time I left you guys off, we were kind of in the middle of the harness work that we were doing, and I've made some significant progress, and I didn't get as detailed with the standalone harness as I'd like to, but pretty much I shortened what I needed to shorten, and I lengthened what I needed to lengthen, and now we are at this point. So you can see here, I've got the harness, I'd say, I don't know, 90% of the way wrapped up, and it's, I mean, minus these injector adapter harnesses, I mean, everything's pretty well low profile and not bulky, but you can tell over here I've got, so this is my, you get coil pack wiring, but I've got the wiring going down to the transmission here, and I've got the tack module wiring back in here. So I mean, I've got it all tucked away, nice and hidden. And some other progress I've made is I did find a lower radiator hose that fit well. Upper radiator hose is from the factory 4-cylinder 2.3 that came in the Foxbody. I just cut it down a little bit, but yeah, there is the fuse and relay harness. It literally is a 3-wire hookup. You got, you know, the white one over here on the left feeds the fuel pump. That'll be your fuel pump signal from the ECM, and I'll just go ahead and wire that to the aeromotive signal. And the red one is going to be your 12-volt constant, and blue I have as switched ignition. So there's a couple ways to go about this. You can sit here and wire straight from the battery, a wire to this, and you can go straight from the ignition switch to this if you want to have like somewhat of an OEM operation, or you can put, you know, this on your own switch and you know, have your starter on its own button and all that. It just depends how crazy you want to get with things. A lot of people like to utilize you know, fuses that are already in the car. So there's going to be fuses that become hot whenever you turn the ignition on. And the thing with this is it has to stay on even while you're cranking. So you need to find something that has 12-volt switched ignition whenever you turn the ignition on and while you're cranking. So if you find a fuse that fits those needs, you can use that, although you'll want to make sure that you're not putting too much load on that fuse, and you're going to blow not only this fuse but the fuse on the car as well. So I like to go straight from the switch. It's easier, and the battery is fairly simple. You literally run a wire from the battery over here to your fuse panel, and you're good to go there. And then the aeromotive kit, you literally just run another wire over the firewall here to the white wire, and you're good to go. And I've already hooked the battery up here. I got a ground just to get me by for now, but I hooked everything up. I tested out the throttle body just to make sure that the pedal was working. I was unsure if it was going to work or not because it is from a different vehicle than what the tack module and ECM are from. So I was just unsure, and I wanted to test that function, and it looks like everything is working correctly. But today is going to be a day where I try to get the oil filter, you know, stupid stuff, small stuff. I say stupid, but it's important. Small stuff. So I'm going to get the oil filter, fill this thing with oil, get the transmission cooler lines hooked up, fill the transmission up with at least 5 or 6 quarts just so the pump's happy whenever this thing's running. You don't want to run it dry, obviously. So going to be a couple other small things I need to finish before we fire up, but I'm going to go ahead and get some of those done now. Right now I'm going to go ahead and put the spark plugs in and get the spark plug wires on and get my coil packs on and get those mounted on the valve covers and hooked up. So stay tuned for that. That's where I'm at now. Now you guys are kind of up to speed and what we'll be doing today. So stay tuned. Alright guys, I just got done doing a few things. I did spark plug wires, I did coil packs, I kind of rigged up the battery power for the ECU and the fuel pump. Everything's just kind of sitting here on the ground. I've also got the starter wire rigged up down here. It's pretty much just, I'm roughing it just to get it started. This is obviously not how it's going to stay. So I am kind of at a standstill right now because I ordered an OEM AC Delco oil filter for an LS1 F-body, and it turns out it does not fit the F-body oil pan for whatever reason. So I don't know if the person I bought the F-body oil pan off of either changed out the thread. I mean, I don't know, but it's not, I mean, I have 3 different filters here, not a single one of them fit. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I'm going to run to AutoZone real quick and I guess try to find something that fits, but I went ahead and got the transmission electrical connections hooked up, so that's good to go. I've got this side, the spark plug wire is good to go. What else? I have the PCV system kind of just rigged up for the time being. But I'm at a standstill with this oil filter, and I've got to get some transmission fluid in this thing, and trying to get a funnel that is this size is like next to impossible. I mean, this is that low car dipstick for the transmission, and they don't give you a whole lot of room here on the fill inlet. So I'm gonna try and find something at AutoZone when I go there for the oil filter, you know, to help me get some fluid in the transmission. So after that, I got the crank sensor hooked in. I think we're pretty well ready to start this thing. So stay tuned. All right, guys, just got back from AutoZone. I don't know why, but I had to pick up a 2009 Silverado truck oil filter, and that seemed to fit. The part number is PF63E, and for whatever reason the PF46E, which comes factory on LS1 F bodies, did not fit, so it's too small. Needed that bigger thread pitch. So we're kind of at a point now. I went ahead and got the trans fluid in the car, got oil in the car, got the oil filter, got the trans cooler lines hooked up, crank sensors plugged in. I think we can try and start this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up on the stand over here and try to give it a whirl. I mean, you guys are literally going to see the first time I'm trying to start this. This isn't like one of those videos where they say it's the first startup, and you know, they've had it started 5 times before the video started. You guys are going to see the actual first attempt of the start, so stay tuned. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, Nick, why are you rushing this? Why are you wanting this to be started up before the end of the month? And the real answer is we're going on vacation the beginning of April, and we're going to Mexico for about a week, and I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years, and we have 2 kids together. We've been through 3 different houses, and I think it's about time that I get down on a knee and ask her to marry me. So I kind of planned this a long time ago. I've had the ring for a really long time, and I just want to pull the trigger and get this done. It's been on my mind, and it's been, you know, I've been nervous and anxious about it. So I really don't want this on my mind at the same time. I want to have this you know, started up. That'll ease my mind of this project, and I can focus on you know, her and I when we go on vacation. So that's the real reason behind this. So just wanted you guys to know. All right, guys, I apologize for all the rain with this metal roof, so you're gonna have some unwanted noise, but I'm gonna go ahead and rig up these wires on this battery down here, and I'm gonna go ahead and try and crank it over. We'll see what happens. Here goes nothing. Woo! God damn. idiot and didn't have the fuel pump ground hooked up, so we're going to try this one more time here. Hooking the fuel pump signal up.
Well guys, I'm going to leave it at that because as I suspected, since I don't have a transmission yoke in the back of the trans, I've got a bunch of fluid leaking out. So at least I know the pump's working. But yeah, we're going to hold off for now. I'm super pumped that it at least fires up. I am not going to make this out to be a tuning issue because it's definitely not. Like I said, I don't have a MAF hooked up. I don't have oxygen sensors. I mean, I have them hooked up, but they're over here on the manifolds on the ground. So you know, I just don't have things hooked up correctly. Still missing a lot of factors, but just to hear it fire is reassuring, and that's what I wanted before the end of the month. And actually, I really did want it running and driving, but I will take this as a win. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here, but stay tuned. I'm basically, in other videos, I'm going to be installing the fan shroud, buttoning these things up that I pretty much just have scattered everywhere just to start the engine. But after that, I'm going to do the 5-lug swap. There's some chassis things I need to address. I've got a bunch of UPR products that need to go on the suspension. I've got uppers, lowers for the rear, solid diff bushing, stuff like that. So there's definitely going to be more content. But as far as the mechanical stuff, I'm just glad that I heard it running, and it seems I don't hear no knocking or anything else, no big leaks, so besides the transmission output shaft. But so it's all good news. So I'll take this as a win. But stay tuned for other videos, guys. There's gonna be more content coming. I apologize for taking so long with the video postings. Life's just been hectic. 2 kids with 2 surgeries, so just stay tuned. I'll get to them eventually, and I apologize. But thank you guys for watching.